What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this video, we are going to be continuing on with more of the head-to-head episodes. And in this one, I'm going to continue on with Alien 3 versus Predators. Now, there is a vast amount of years that we've given between these two films, because Alien 3 came out in the 90s and Predators came out in 2010. So there is a lot of distance between these two in terms of when they were released and production value and things like that. But nonetheless, we're going to continue on with this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Now, if you hadn't seen the other two that I've done, where I did Alien versus Predator, not the movie, the movie series, the first movie of Alien versus the first movie of Predator. The same with Aliens versus Predator 2, and I'm going to continue on with Alien 3 versus Predators. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, Alien 3 is set right through the events of Aliens, where Ripley and his alien life form ends up crashing onto this prison planet. So now Ripley's with these criminals and stuff, trying to figure out how to survive against this alien that's come with her as well. And as far as the Predators sequel goes, the film follows a bunch of mercenaries, criminals, soldiers who are all abducted and taken into this game planet and are being systematically hunted by these predators. So in terms of the actual stories, me personally, I think both of them are actually really good stories. Each one of them do have pretty good moments. There are a bit of slow moments here and there, but I think they're both pretty grounded and pretty interesting. The reason why I said that they're both pretty interesting, let me explain. I'm one of the few people that think Alien 3 is somewhat decent. I do recognize that there are a lot of problems with the story. Such as some really good characters getting written off, which does affect the overall score and outlook of this film as well. But having said that, I think it's actually an interesting story because it feels like it's harkening a bit more back to the first movie and not the second one, where it's much more about survival rather than going in there guns blazing. Because let's just admit, the biggest and most badass aspect of Aliens is just to see these Marines sit here, just take it to these damn aliens, just blow these sons of bitches to smithereens and stuff. But in Alien 3, we don't really get that. We get Ripley and these prisoners who don't have any weapons trying to figure out how to outmaneuver this creature, how to survive this creature, how to kill it, how to capture it, what have you, just to stop this just killing machine. And so I think it's more of like a survival aspect of it to it that I think makes it that does distinguish itself and make itself pretty unique from that of Predators and somewhat of the series of Aliens. Now, in terms of Predator, I would say it's a pretty interesting story as well, because we get to see a bit more of the Predator and a bit more of what they consider. Now, having said that, I will say that this movie does harken back to the first Predator movie in a lot of ways, even to the point where it feels like it's just outright just copying it. I mean, you have the big guy you got the one sequence where the dude shoots off with the damn minigun and you know what I'm saying, they're in the jungle and things like that. Like, certain aspects of it do feel like the first film, whereas even though the suspenseful moments of Alien 3 are derived from the first film, but completely different setting with completely different cast of characters, this one in Predators does feel a bit more like it is a kind of a copy of it, even though it does have its unique take and twists and turns there. Now, in terms of the story having depth and twists and turns and stuff, I think Predators does come out ahead. A lot of it has to do with what initially happens in like the later half of the movie, especially when it comes to Lawrence Fishburne's character. I think that's actually a pretty interesting thing, because the whole time these people are on this game planet, they're trying to escape it. And where I can say here too, where on Alien 3, they're stuck on this planet with this creature, and they're trying to either kill this creature or escape. So I really like the dynamic, because in both of these, they're both on alien worlds in which they're both on worlds that aren't Earth, where they're being hunted. So I could actually say that the story for both of them are actually pretty good. So in terms of that, I would say the story for both of these is actually pretty about even. because like I said, there's a lot that both of them do that do harken back to the originals in some ways. They do feel like their own. They do have interesting twists and pretty cool story moments and everything. But I really do and say was really engaged with a lot of what was going on in both of these, especially with the Alien, because Alien does feel more of a continuation of the series and not just a part of the series, not part of the franchise. Whereas Predators feels like it's actually a part of the franchise and not just a part of this long running story that's being told. So there is like that dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Even though you necessarily aren't a part of the story, you're still a part of the series. But you know, you have this as part of the series, but it's a story. So I really say that the story for both of them actually come out on top, at least for me. Now, in terms of the characters are a bit of a mixed bag on both of them because in terms of the characters, there's a lot of characters that are just fucking unlikable, and if they're not just unlikable, they are like assholes, or there isn't really much given to them, so you don't really know much about them. Take for Alien instance, Alien 3. The characters are all criminals, but for the majority of the time, you don't even really know what they're going through, what they've been through, how they got there, what kind of criminal acts they did do. You know what I'm saying? Dylan is probably the most prominent of all of the inmates on the planet. So he's probably the most likable character. He's level-headed. He really isn't an asshole. So I really do enjoy him as I really did enjoy his character. Also, Clemens was actually a good character as well. Level-headed, had a really good chemistry with Ellen Ripley, which Ripley is a fucking awesome ass character as well. So, in terms, we got those three characters. I honestly did like. What's this guy's name? No, I didn't like him. See, gosh, I'm killing myself. I don't. Some of these guys' names. Oh yes, Pete Postlewaite. I liked him. He was actually a really good character. That's the guy that played him. Wait, he actually plays the same name. His name is Pete Postlewaite, and his character name is David Postlewaite. I don't know how to say his guy's name, but I actually liked him. He was actually a pretty good person as well. What was the last guy? He was freaking funny. I'm trying to Danny Robert Morse. I really liked him. I thought he was funny. He had actually some of the best lines in the movie. He was pretty cool. I like characters like that are just like kind of cynical and kind of smartasses and stuff. But I really enjoyed his character, even though he was an asshole too. So there are some good characters there, even though for the most part you don't really know shit about them like that. And I think that is kind of a problem because I would have liked to see a bit more of these characters because most of them are obviously just cannon fodder, especially considering it was like 20 guys. But yeah, in terms they got some decent characters. Like I said, Dylan was pretty cool. Clemens, Ripley. I did like David. I did like Morris. I thought he was pretty cool as well. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the characters that we've seen in Predators. And I think Predators actually has the leg up on this one this time around because for the most part the characters are actually I like the characters for the most part. Let's go ahead and go down the list of things. Royce, I thought he was kind of a cool character, but I felt like he was just a little bit too hard, and there really wasn't really any likable traits about the character. So I can't take it or leave it with his character. Isabel, I thought she was actually a bit more grounded. I really enjoyed her character. Didn't really give two shits about. I did because he was a bit of a comedy relief. The whole twist with his character, I'm not sure about. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but I ultimately didn't really give a shit about that. But as far as like kind of like the comedic character, I thought he was straight. But Stans was fucking amazing. He is, even though he's an asshole, he is literally the character that's speaking for the audience. I really enjoyed him. He had some of the funniest lines. He went out like a damn soldier, though. He even had some pretty cool moments here and there. So I really enjoyed his character. Didn't give two shits about Nikolai. Hanzo was fucking awesome as well. He was a really good character. One of those stoic guys that don't really say too much, but when he does talk, he does say what's on his mind is actually is meaningful and stuff like that. But also, I have to say, had one of the best moments in the freaking franchise, not just the movie, in the franchise, where he ultimately squares off against one of these predator creatures in a duel to the death. Not if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not gonna tell you who lived and who died, but it was I can't say Chichilo was in anything because honestly he died, and you know it's Danny Trejo always playing characters that dies, and then you got Nolan, who would have been an interesting character had they played it a bit. Had they played that a bit better, he's an interesting character. I would say that the problem is I think the way the movie was written, it kind of written them wrong. Yes, it'd been kind of cool them having to deal with a character that's been isolated by himself and is slightly crazy. And I would have liked to seen that dynamic work itself out more through the films as they utilize each other to survive, and not the way the film had written them to be. So unfortunately, I can't really. I think it's an interesting waste potential. That's all I can say. So honestly, in terms of the characters, I'd say probably both of them. Both of them have interesting characters. Yes, they're criminals. Yes, they're killers. Yes, they're assholes. But they are. But you know what I'm saying? They managed to have a couple of people here and there that are interesting, that are entertaining, that are likable, just despite everything that's really going on. I don't like really seeing movies where it's like the characters are put in a situation, so you have to like the characters for the situation. And both of these movies are basically that. But I still think these characters were enjoyable, and I thought they were entertaining. Not necessarily deep, except although Clemens' character was pretty deep. He was a pretty deep character. Dylan had a pretty deep character as well. Ripley's character, of course, was really deep. And in terms of depth, I will say that those three characters will outright just kill everybody else. And I guess we can go at that. If we're going with entertaining characters and depth, I will go ahead and just say that Alien 3 came out on top on this one, so write that down. Bam. Now, in terms of the actual threat of the films, there's the Alien and Alien 3 and the Predators and Predators. Which one of these are just like more menacing? I honestly think for the movies that the characters, the villains themselves, are actually pretty fucking badass. I mean, if you look at the Alien in Alien 3, the thing was pretty ruthless. It was relentless. It was terrifying. It had some really good moments, some really memorable moments. Some of the best moments, honestly, in the series. It was a one, and what makes it so impressive is, unlike Predators, it's one alien just going around just jocking these guys left and right, just killing them, tracking them up, yanking them up, just fucking wiping people out left and right. So the alien was actually a pretty menacing antagonist in the film, which I actually did like. Now, honestly, the origin of the character and how it got put on the damn planet, okay, I understand. It doesn't really make any fucking sense. But we're going to go with what it did while it was there. And it did its job. It did its job. It did, again, kind of harken back to the first one where they were trying to survive against one. And this movie showed what that one thing can do against a whole shit ton of people and not just five. So let's just go with that. It was pretty badass. Now, in terms of Predators, how are the Predators? I thought they were pretty interesting. I thought they were pretty cool, and I like the diversity of the three and which ones did what and all of that. So I thought that was actually pretty cool too. Them being menacing figures, I thought was actually pretty cool as well. And the overall designs of them, I thought were actually pretty badass. So I honestly don't have a problem with these creatures. They're actually pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen a bit more standoff moments between them and these mercenaries, just to show these predator creatures that humanity, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, can stand toe to toe with them, at least for a little while. But I would have liked to see a little bit back and forth like that between them. But I can say that I did enjoy the Predators. And even though there wasn't really enough time to just be like, okay, well, this predator, I mean, they did have moments where it's like, okay, this predator does this predator do this. But I would have liked to see more of them doing their individual skills. If one can track, I would like track, you know what I'm saying, without using this tech, likes to track people without using this tech. I would like to see it have its little moment where it was tracking motherfuckers and it kicked their ass or something like that. But didn't really get that. So in terms of the actual creatures, both movies did a fantastic job just showing how badass these two creatures are. let's go down the list to the cast. Honestly, I'm on the fence about this because I really enjoyed the cast from both movies. Have just a fantastic cast. Some of the some of the greats of that time as well as this time as well. So it's kind of hard to kind of gauge the casting and the performances because honestly, I thought the casting and performances for both movies were just really good. Some better than others. Again, like I said, I like Adrien Brody. He's actually one of my favorite actors, and I think I would have liked his character, him to be a little less hard. But I'm not gonna say it wasn't like I couldn't believe him play the character, be hard like that. But he just kind of cookie cutter, if I could say that. Really didn't have a personality. Cool character, just didn't have personality because it was so hard. But come on, let's just go down the list. Come on, Alien 3 has Sigourney Weaver, Charles S. Dutton, Charles Dance, one of my favorite actors, Lance Hendrickson. Let's go ahead. We had Brian Glover, Ralph Brown, Paul McGann, Danny Webb, Pete Postlethwaite. I mean, just they got a lot of characters, a lot of great characters in, and they did a fantastic job in this film. I honestly didn't have any performance issues with any of these characters, with any of these actresses, the actors and everything. So I thought they did a great job. Again, with Predators, we have Adrien Brody, Topher Grace. Even though a lot of people don't like Topher Grace, I thought he did a decent job in this film as well. Alice Braga, fantastic, sexy woman. She's awesome. Love Walter Goggins. He always plays just the perfect asshole type characters. Oleg Takarov. I think he did it. I'm not. He was probably one of the characters I was like, not that he did a bad performance, just wasn't stand out. I like Louise Ozawa Chang-chien as Hanzo. He did a great job to me. Marshala Ali did a great job, even though he was on the movie for like 10 minutes. Danny Trejo, 10 minutes. Lawrence Fishburne, I wish could have had a bit more to do with, but it goes back to what I was saying about I didn't like how they presented his character. So, ooh. Oh, okay, cool. About to say. But yes, in terms of the performances, even though a lot of people in Alien 3, there were a lot of people that you just didn't, you know what I'm saying, didn't really get a chance to actually act. But for those that were actually good, like I said, Sigourney Weaver, Dutton, Dance, you know what I'm saying, Webb, just they did great performances in the movie, despite what people might say about the actual movie itself. Even with Predators, I really did enjoy the performances. Despite there have been some people that didn't really get a chance to be more stand out as they could have been, and some being just not up to par, but just enough. I will actually say that both of them, just to be fair. Now, visually, I'm just going to just knock this out the park. Of course, Predators fucking just owns this. Visually, the Predators look better. The prosthetics look exceptionally well. The CGI is fucking on point. You know what I'm saying? The invisible effects look fucking amazing. The use of the weapons, the energy blast, just everything about this movie looks great. Even like the overall Predator designs, even the Predators look fucking weird, but they look pretty cool. They look really good. But I'm not going to take away what Alien 3 did. Come on, the Alien is okay. Yeah, the CGI fucking is just hilarious. Okay, the CGI is fucking hilarious. I give it that. But we have to admit that the Alien overall design looked actually really good. The prosthetics were good. The actual mechanics, the puppeteering that they utilized with it looked really good. Just the overall Alien when it's in its physical form, not CGI, and it's practical and everything, looks fucking amazing. The kill sequences, even though some of them are kind of like, well, you don't see exactly how they die, just they die. It looks pretty cool. I mean, look at the part where Charles Dance character gets fucking killed. I was like, I mean, it was fucked up, but it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? When the warden got yanked up into the shaft, kind of low budget, but it was actually a pretty cool kill. You know what I mean? So overall, I can actually say that even though Predator 3 does have some good moments with the practical effects, thumbs up to the 90s and the 80s for the practical, Predators just pretty much knocks it out the park. I'm not going to lie. Now let's talk about the setting for both of them. I actually did not mind the prison setting. I thought it was actually pretty cool. It had this very isolated and just like desperate feel about it. Everything is just so old and run down, and you get the feeling that's how these characters are. And I think that that environment, the prison, the mill, whatever you want to call it, actually does kind of reflect the characters in a way and the situation. It makes them feel very isolated, like it's actually a tomb, which I think did a great job for just creating this weird ambiance for the film, or tone, or dark tone, or dark ambiance, or atmosphere for the film. So I thought that was actually done exceptionally well. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of people don't like that, but I actually do. I think it was, and I think it's completely different from the atmosphere, the tone, the setting of the previous films, and that's why I like this movie so much because of that. Yes, it's shitty, but it does have its moments. It does have its charms, qualities that do make it entertaining, do make it a pretty good watch. And like I said, the overall setting is pretty cool. Now, the problem I have with Predators is that they do have a good setting, but they don't do nothing with it. Yes, it's a game planet, and you know what would you find on the game planet? Alien game planet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of alien shit, which when you watch the movie, there's literally nothing fucking there. It's like they're just walking in the backwoods of the fucking Amazon or something like that. But the setting is an interesting idea. The problem is just nothing with it. I would have liked to see not only are they fighting the predators themselves, but other alien creatures, which you do not see. And even though there's even this tribalistic thing going with these two tribes of predators are clashing or fighting one another and everything, you don't even really get evidence of that. You don't even see that. Yeah, you get one sequence where they have fucked up this one predator, and then you get a fight sequence later on between these two predators. But it's not like, okay, three predators over here, three predators over here fighting, or three predators trying to save this one predator from these three predators, and there's this big thing, or there's these people trying to fight these creatures. And you like said, if this is an alien planet, you want to see that it's an alien planet, not the one scene where you look up into the fucking sky and you see that there's a bunch of different planets that shouldn't be there. Okay, but it's like, and that's why I say it feels so much like the first movie. So overall, even though I like the idea for the game planet and the woods and everything, Alien definitely takes it for um, the setting, because, like I said, it does feel like catacombs. It feels very isolated. It feels very dark. It feels like death because things are just so old. It just works so well. It feels like a damn tomb. And in a lot of cases, for the characters that do die, it is. So, in the overall music, in terms of music, I want to say Predators, but the only reason Predators would even remotely get this is because they have some of the themes from their other two movies that I think work so well, and it just makes for this very vibrant, type tribalistic type feel to the film. And I do like the music from Alien 3. I do, you know. But I don't think it's as memorable as what Predators has accomplished. But then again, like I said, one of the things that Predators is going for is the great soundtrack and how it's been just from one movie to the next movie just done so well with that. But and Aliens, I don't think the music so much is that done that way. But it is, but it isn't. I want to say. I'm not sure. It's like a weird down. It's like it is. There are some things that do go down the movies, but I don't think that they're as prominent as what we see in like Predator, especially for more like action oriented sequences. But there are some good ones in there. Uh, Elliot Goldenthal did the music for Alien 3, which, like I said, isn't bad. And John Debney did the music for Predators. So I'm on the fence. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I might actually have to mark this down as both. All right, overall sound design, I'm going to say Alien. And this is why I say Alien, because of those moments where you're in, where it's the tension building and things like that. I think it works so well, just the setting. But then again, you know what I'm saying? You have the sound design for Predators, which wasn't really bad at all either. So I'm going to mark that off as both. I'm going to mark that off as both. Okay, now in terms of direction, and the guy that David Fincher ended up directing Alien 3, and Nimrod. Who the hell named himself Nimrod? Had parents named their kids Nimrod. Nimrod at Antal ended up directing Predators. Now, in terms of direction, both these movies have a lot of problems. Okay, honestly, in terms of Alien 3, David Fincher just didn't feel like he knew what he wanted to go with the movie. He does a good enough job with the direction. He does manage to make this film its own, but at the same time, there's a lot of plot. There's a lot of problems. A lot of where the characters just don't necessarily feel like they mesh, and there are a lot of sequences that don't necessarily feel like they mesh right, or sequences that should have been but aren't. So I think that like I said, there's a lot of problems with the direction, and he did a decent enough job to make a competent movie, even despite the fact that there's a lot. And I'm looking at the title: 3 times the suspense, 3 times the danger, 3 times the terror. Oh my gosh, it's actually a good tagline. I should have put that on Predators as well. Hey, there was 3 Predators. You know what I'm saying? But one alien did 3 times all the shit. But okay. But anyways, I think the direction for Alien 3 is decent. It definitely has a lot of problems, and Tall with the Predators movie. I think the problem is that we're trying to. I guess he was because people didn't like the fact that in the second Predator it was in the city and not the jungle, which I actually think is actually a good setting. I think that he was afraid to step out a bit to try to harken back to the original what people wanted, which also ultimately didn't do what it could have done because of that. Now, I'm not saying he did a bad job. One of the things is, like Alien 3, you don't get enough time to get to know these characters, give us some shine on the characters, the director. When it comes to films with ensembles like this, you need to put your characters first and foremost, as well as establish them in these different situations, which does a good job with the situational part, but just the characters themselves just don't feel like uh, they just don't feel like they they don't feel like they have much depth to them. They don't feel like people will like them, and it's you know what I'm saying. You want people to connect with these characters, and I feel like the director didn't do a good job with that. The story and where the story leads to in both instances could have been taking both of them in different directions, and you can definitely tell that they're just not where they should be, which is why a lot of people don't like the directing in both of them. So in terms of direction, I'm not going to say either one of them had a good director. I think they both are. Both directors are decent. Both of the directors are decent. And I actually need to come back and do a video on what directors could took these 2 movies and did a better damn job with them. Shit, put Guillermo del Toro on this shit. But anyways, I'm in terms of better director. I'm not going to say either one had a better director. Yeah, because no, I'm not gonna say that. No, I'm not. That, in terms of directors, I don't know what to say. I feel like I shouldn't even put it like write it down. It shouldn't be like a score because I didn't think either one of them had a better director. Both of them were decent, but I don't know. In terms of the overall writing, yes, Alien 3 had a shit ton of problems. How the fuck the alien got there? How Newt was written off? How Hicks was written off? You know, how the fuck did she get Ripley get impregnated? Yes, there's a theory about the super face hugger that can impregnate people twice, but it doesn't stop. If it impregnated Ripley, then how the fuck did she survive the crash landing of the ship without drowning like Newt did? Because Newt drowned. So it's like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So how do some of the utilization of some of the characters? Why there is no strong characterization at all? Uh, I think that's Thunder. That bad boy came in hard. So yes, there's a number. Some of the dialogue isn't on point, even though there's this one sequence that I just fucking love. Every time I hear it, I just love it. But there isn't enough. There's literally ain't enough. Now, a lot of it does have to do with initially writing off Newt, writing off Hicks, writing off Bishop basically too as well. You know what I'm saying? And you've written out these characters, but these characters that are really, you don't know shit about them and they're pretty unlikable. So there's a dynamic with that as well. That's kind of a problem. Also, Predators, the writing could have been better. Let's go down the list. Better characterization for these characters. Have better moments where they're talking, because the dialogue isn't all where it's there. Even though I did like Walter Goggins' character and his dialogue was fucking amazing. You have Lawrence Fishburne's character was a guy who was just fucking fucking insane, which isn't bad, especially given the company that he's with. But at the same time, the problem with that is he ends up kind of being like this antagonistic force as well as Topher Grace's character, who becomes an antagonistic force later on. My problem with that is it's a game planet. Why you didn't have all of these other alien type creatures be the antagonistic force? Force all of these criminals to have to work together, because that's initially what they were supposed to do in the first place. If this guy's a killer, he has to work with these killers to stop these aliens from killing them. That should have been the point of Topher Grace. Yes, I'm a murderer, and I'm going to use my murdering skills to try to kill the predators. Yes, I have been here forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to use what I learned to help you to try to kill these motherfuckers. And the movie doesn't go utilize that. So, but there, in terms of writing, I would say that Predators does a better job with the writing. Fuck ton better than what was going on in Alien 3, unfortunately. And I like the movie, but they just call it what it is. The writing is fucking terrible in a lot of instances. But hey, it is what it is. So in terms of the writing, I would say Predators does come out ahead. And stop hitting my phone up, it's killing me. But anyways, let's go ahead and get down to the final verdict, guys. All right then. In terms of who of these two wins, let's say both. Let's see. Alien 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Predator got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, shit, they both got both. It's a tie. Now I don't remember if the other two were ties, but it's a tie. Alien 3 ties with Predators. They're varying degrees, but they. Because of varying things, but okay, they tied. Okay, I guess. I feel like the other one's tied. One of the other ones tied as well. But then again, like these movies do have like a lot of similarities. I don't know. But like I said, these two tied. But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, let me know what the hell you think about the Alien 3 film versus Predators film. Which one of these movies did you like better? Which one you thought had better characters, story, writing, visuals, music? Just go ahead and let me know down there as well. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And now we have got it to where we are going to be posting the videos up, even on the website. Everything goes up on Fridays at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Be more precise, 9 a.m. on Fridays. Stay tuned to this channel. Stay tuned to the website to get this great content. We'll definitely catch you guys later. Next video. Narik Chase out.